Hey, what's up guys? This is Mr. Jensen with EdTech Integration. In today's video, we talk about Google Slides. Now, we've used Google Slides in the classroom for years and years, whether it be for assignments, projects, or anything else that we do. In today's video, we talk about some hidden tools that might be helpful to engage students more, or tools just to make your job a little bit easier. So let's check it out. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start this off, these tools, by starting in our Google Drive. So if we start in our Google Drive and come up to the top left-hand side here and create a new Google slide, we're going to start our 5 tips here. Now I'm just going to get rid of these just for simplicity's sake. Okay, so our first tool here starts with creating mind maps. Mind maps are really powerful things in science classroom, in English classroom, really in any classroom, in any context. So the issue with mind maps is if we're doing it digitally, it's hard sometimes to either have the money to purchase programs, find the right program, or if you have the right program, teaching kids how to use it. Now, some programs are really easy and you may already have one that works for you. That's totally fine. Here's a program, or here's a way that we can get away from programs here in Google Slides. So I'm going to go up to the ribbon here and let's create some shapes. So I'm going to start here and let's just go in the middle here. So last week in science, what we did is we created a mind map of natural versus synthetic things. So we took something as simple as a pencil and we listed all of the things that were natural and synthetic that make up pencils. Okay, so let's say here this is a starting piece, and I'm going to come up here and I'm going to grab a couple more shapes. So let's just grab a rectangle. Let's just make a couple of these. Oh, let's not be boring. Let's make these different colors. I'm going to go with blue, and let's make this guy, oh, I don't know, red. Okay, so because I've already made this shape, I don't want to come up here and try to make the same shape 100 times. So I'm just going to click on this. If you're on a Mac, it's Command C. If you're on a PC, it's Control C. And then on a Mac, it's Command V or Control V. So I'm just going to create these boxes over and over. Okay. So as you can see here, we've set up the template of a mind map very, very, very easily. Okay. So let's keep going. I'll just do one example. I won't build the whole mind map, but like I said, we were trying to come up with things that pencils were made of and then listing whether or not they were natural versus synthetic. So let's say pencils are made up of wood. That's true in some cases. In this case, if it's made of wood, this wood would be a natural product. Okay, so we could go through and we could fill out the rest of this mind map pretty easily. Now let's start to connect it. So connecting between pencil and wood, we come here, we can say, well, let's connect this using a line. So we're going to connect these pieces here. I'm going to connect it to the purple dots here. I think I did that here. Okay. Oops, I didn't mean to min that. Okay, so we have that guy connected. Let's say, for example, we wanted to connect, let's connect this guy, and this guy's going to be down here. Let's connect him using an elbow. So we're going to come over here. We're going to use an elbow connector. Again, click on the purple, and then we're going to bring this guy over to the purple as well. Now, if it's connected correctly, let's see if it is. No, mine's not. If it's connected correctly, what it should do is it should move as you move this guy. Okay, so pretty basic, right? Didn't take much work. There was very little friction, as you would say, to getting this done. Okay, let's add a couple more and just see what this looks like. So let's say a curved one now. So I'm going to start on the purple, and then I'm going to move this guy over here. And if it's connected, which is not. Okay, so now we should be able to move along with this. Okay, so let's say, for example, and I'm just going to add on to this example, that we wanted to go in order. So let's say we had a step 1, step 2, step 3. So this may not work for this pencil mind map, but if I came over here, we did arrows. So same thing, start on the purple, and then I'm just going to drag that guy over right there. And let's do one more arrow, let's start here. So now we can do a progression. Okay, so step 1 is here, step 2 is here, so on and so forth. Okay, so We can also do things like change the width of our arrows. We can change the colors. Let's just make those purple for fun. We can do a lot of different things. We can make the ends like so. Make that one a box. Okay, so there's lots of different things you can do here. Now, again, mind mapping tools are awesome, but if you wanted to do this for an assignment and you wanted just to copy and paste this in there, or you wanted students to do this is a really, really simple way to create a mind map really quickly. Tool number 2 is also a diagramming tool that's already built into Google Slides. So instead of coming up here and creating all of this yourself, right, and there could be value in creating this yourself depending on what your objective is, we have some that are already built in. So if we go up to Insert, down to Diagram, so now let's say the focus is a professional looking slide and students are focused on presenting the information as opposed to creating it in this example. We have different diagrams that are already built into Google Slides. So grids, hierarchies, timelines, process, relationships, cycles. Okay, so let's just say, for example, we wanted a cycle, and in this student's presentation, they were going to use this cycle. Okay, so you can take this guy here, you can make him big and small, you can change the colors, you can edit the text. Okay, so pretty simple. Let's say their second example, they wanted to do a grid, but in this case, well, let's pick one. I'm going to pick this third one, but in this case, we wanted to do 5 levels, not 3. Okay, so I'm going to click on that. And that guy is going to drag right there. Now, could you create these on your own? Absolutely. The question is, why would you create these on your own if you already had them built in here? Okay, so what we could do here is now we can come here and we could change the text to whatever we want. We can put descriptions, we could add pictures, we can do whatever we want. But right now, we have a very professional looking table or grid that we didn't have to create. Okay. All right, so I'm going to diverge on this third tech tip, or this third tool that we can use in here. So let's say, for example, you were a primary teacher or even a secondary teacher and you're doing some kind of stop motion in your class. We can create stop motion again. We could have programs that do this really easily, but we could also do it here in Google Slides very, very quick. Kids are used to Google Slides. They've used Google Slides. There's no teaching or learning curve, or very small learning curve when doing this. So let's create a stop motion. So if I go Insert, Image, and let's say I'm searching from the web. And let's say I'm going to search for a bird. Oh, let's go bird animation. Okay, so I'm going to take a bird. Let's take our friend here. And I'm going to insert him. So if we make him small, like this, we can see this in the corner here. Now, let's create to create a stop motion, we're going to click on this slide. If you're on a Mac, you're going to click Command D. If you're on a PC, you're going to click Control D. So basically, that's going to make a carbon copy of what you just did. So all we need to do here is just move that guy a little bit over. Move that guy a little bit over. Oops. On the slide. Okay, so we can do this a bunch of times. So again, really, really basic. And obviously you can go more in depth than I am right now, but just showing you guys the tool. So let's do that. Let's make this a little bit more interesting. So let's go Insert Image from the web, and instead of saying bird animation, let's say Kata. That's not how you spell that, but it's okay. I got it. Let's add a caterpillar for this bird to eat. Make this guy small so he's edible. So in this one, he's there. And in the next one, he's pretty quick. So he's moving this way. And this guy moves here. And, oh, he missed him. Okay, so again, just a really quick, easy way to make a pretty fun and interactive thing here. Okay, so let's go through a stop motion here. Let's check it out. Okay, and again, how long did that take me? 30 seconds or so. It can be a really easy way to create a stop motion. All right, so let's go on to speaker notes. So speaker notes are something that a lot of people or a lot of students may use during their presentations or whatever it may be. What about our kids that have a hard time with language, or our kids that have IEPs, or our kids that get nervous during it? How do we support them using speaker notes, or students that have a really hard time getting the information from their head down to their fingertips? So let's check out this tool. This tool, if we come down here from Tools and go to Voice Type Speaker Notes, if I click on that button there, it will listen to everything that I say and type it down for me, period. This will allow students that have a hard time with getting the information from their head down to the keyboard to get information out fast, period. Reducing friction like this allows students to ... new paragraph. As you can see, I can give it commands as well as giving it words for it to listen to, period. So a really, really easy way to get information down on a slide for students that may struggle with this, for students that may not struggle with this, for students that have IEPs, for students that are ESL, whatever it may be, this is a valuable tool. Okay, so we come up here and we click on the little arrow guy, presenter view. Now, if a student was presenting on a computer, so this was on a computer that was presenting to a, let's say a projector or something like this, you can have presenter view on. So this is what the presenter sees. The students that are watching, or the audience that is watching, will see the slide here. So now they can see a time, they can see what was behind them, what's coming up next, and they can see all of this information here. Really, really, really powerful stuff. All right, so our fifth tool is going to be charts. Okay, so how do we link charts? Linking charts is a really cool and powerful tool. Now, we did a lab last week where we went into the lab and we're basically watching ice melt. That was fascinating. Students were watching ice melt, and then they were jotting down the data. So I have a graph here. Now, let's say, for example, I wanted to put this graph into my presentation. I'm going to push Command C or Control C on a PC, and I'm going to paste that. I have two options here. Link to spreadsheet. Okay, so anytime I change the data on the spreadsheet, it'll change it on the Google Sheet, which is cool. Or if I didn't want the data to change or want it to stay static, I could leave it as unlinked. So let's see what happens here. I have my chart here. Let's go back to this guy and let's add some more data points. So let's say the student went back into the lab, or they did something else. There was further data that's dynamic. Okay, so they're adding some more data. So 55, and then let's say it went to 60, and then we had a huge jump to 75, and we started to level off here. So as you can see, the graph has changed from when we first copied it. It has not changed here first, but as you notice, there is an update from lab data spreadsheet here. So if I click on this, it will update it right there. Okay, so if I was to change the title, or if I was to change the axes or anything like that, it's going to update it for me. Okay, really, really powerful tool. So these tools are really powerful tools potentially for you as a teacher, but also for students. So it can enhance what they're already doing with a presentation. It can give them more tools to draw things or to do mind maps. It can help them link data or information from the web. So again, these tools just will enhance what you're already doing in the classroom.